Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. In this video specifically I will explain a little bit more about Synology Photos and what you need to have in mind in order to choose a NAS to have all your media in one place. I go to do this video because not necessarily that you need to go for Synology NAS, but I choose it and because of it I will explain what's the positive sides of Synology. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. As I told, in this video, we're not gonna show how you can install Synology Photos, but we're gonna explain what you need to have in mind in order to choose the best NAS for you, or why you're gonna choose a NAS. First of all, the reason that you're gonna choose a NAS is because you want to have all centered in the same location. If you have a hard drive and you copy all those pictures on a hard drive, it's really difficult to share, it's really difficult to manage, and other is not safe because it's a one single point of failure. So if this hard drive fails, or you drop it or do anything, it's really complicated. Also, you cannot upload directly for your phone to your external hard drive because it's not so simple this way. But if you're using any NAS device, you can have a program that will generate this auto update. But it's not only to update and not only to keep the pictures, but how you can sort it, how you can review it. In the past, everyone started to use Google Photos because they have a really great system and was unlimited if you don't use the full quality. But after some time they start to charge because nothing's free forever, and because they start to charge, maybe you want to migrate out for the system. And once that you want to migrate, you need to have in mind what you need to consider in order to choose the best system for you. First thing that you need to have in mind is the thumbnails. What means thumbnails? Imagine that small pictures from the big picture. It's really important, principally when you want to use a web application or you want to use your phone. Because if you want to use your phone or web application, the internet will be the limit. And the bottleneck, you want to avoid it. So before you open that big picture in your computer and all that big picture outside for your house, you can have a small size of picture, and this one will make faster to open your computer or open your phone. And if you want to visualize all the picture, yes, you can do it, only click it and that will expand for you. But remember, this comes with a compromise, because once that you put the picture to locate or to index it, when you put, you're gonna take a lot of energy for your NAS to be able to index it or to be able to generate all this information. And what means indexing the information? It means that once that you put the picture, they will need to look for this picture and try to understand what it's about. So they will try to understand what date that you take, what location, what person was involved in that picture, and all the rest of the information in order for you to be able to filter. Otherwise, if you don't have any of those information in your application, you're gonna search for something but you're not gonna find because it's not indexed. So thumbnail, it's really important because you want to have fast access. Principally, if you are outside for a house, you want to be able to see those pictures, and if you want to click it, you can always click. Other thing that it's really important for a NAS, it's the eye recognition. What means? In the past, only the cloud system, and it starts with Google Cloud, that give the option for filter for objects, or filter for location, or filter for faces. So if you have a lot of faces and you want to locate only pictures that you are present, you can do it with Google Photos, and now more with the NAS. And those NAS start to get better and better. Of course, it's not perfect because they still in development, but I do believe that in the future will be better and better, and also almost the same way that the cloud platform can offer for you. With a compromise as well, because during the indexing, they need to identify that picture, need to process that picture, and this will take some processor power. And depending what kind of NAS that you have, they will have limitations. So if you have a simple Synology NAS as the S2 or 10 something, you're not going to have a full option, you'll not be able to index face, you'll not be able to index object. But if you have the Plus version, you're going to be able to index everything and will be able to generate the full data up against of it and be able to search it. But saying about search, other thing that's really important for your photos is the metadata. And this metadata will be all the information for the picture. So once that you took the picture, you will have the location, dates, information of the device that you took the pictures. If it's a camera or a phone, you're gonna have what's the SO for the picture, what's the F for the picture, and others informations. And without this information, basically it's really difficult to filter it. But this have a problem. If you have all your pictures in Google Photos, in the past you could open all your pictures using the Google Drive, but nowadays you cannot do it. So if you want to export these pictures, you can export, but you need to use Photos Export. And once that you do it, the metadata and your pictures is split. So before you put anything in your NAS, I suggest you to mix it or merge it in order to have only one photo with the metadata attached. Also, it's happening with some device. If you have a little bit old device or some specific device, camera's device, you're gonna have the metadata and the pictures separately. Don't forget to merge it, and you have a lot of options of applications that you can download and do this merge in order to have everything in the same place. Until now, you say everything that a cloud can do, and why you're gonna choose to run away from the cloud. It's simple. Cloud starts to be more and more expensive, and they can have access for your data. So you have two reasons to migrate out for a cloud. First, if you have a large library and you need to have a lot of pictures, if you use a cloud base, this one will cost more, and that's you don't have flexibility for it. So if you want to have your pictures, you need to pay. If you want to remove these pictures or you don't want to pay, you're gonna lose it. Different than you have a NAS system. What will have the initial investment that you needed to have to buy the system, to install the system, to configure the system, but after this you can only use it. And if you buy a normal hard drive or a NAS grade hard drive Pro version, you're gonna have 5 years warranty. So in that 5 years, you know that they will not fail, or the chance to fail is really low because they don't want to give a hard drive free for everyone. So they will guarantee that they will last at least that specific time. So in this way, you can buy the device and you can use for that period, and if you divide how much you pay initially and for all the years that you use, it will kind of pay off, but also you can turn off when you want. You can keep it switch off if you don't want to spend money, or you can program it to restart in specific times and other things. Other thing that's interesting for those NAS, it's because you have exactly the same ability that you're gonna have in the cloud. So you can share pictures, you can have multiple users using that NAS or that pictures. You can use as a professional or as a home user. Why I say as a professional, as a home user? As a home user, you can have folders for each person. So I can have my folder where I have all my pictures. My wife have her folder with all her pictures. Could I have a share folder where I have all the pictures that we want to share between both. Also, you can share albums with external person. Also, you can do everything that a cloud option can do, but you have a privacy of your data. So if you go for a cloud option, potentially they can look and they can train the machines with your pictures as object, face, and you don't know what they are doing specifically with that picture. If you have in your NAS, you know that it's centralized and only you have access and no one else will be able to access unless you permit it. Also, one thing that is good for Synology, and one of the reasons that I opt to go for Synology, is the option for live view. What means a live view? Nowadays with iPhones, I think that it started with 2017 or either before of it, and some Google Pixels, they can have an option to record 3 seconds of the picture. So before and after they take the picture, they will have 3 seconds what is happening, or they generate a small thumbnails. If you go for Synology NAS, you can be able to see it due to the AI identifying that picture and that video will be exactly the same, so you can put as a live and you can see that 3 seconds, different for other NAS that you at moments you cannot do it. Other thing, NAS it's not only focused for home users, it's really focused as well for companies. Suppose that you are a photographer and you want to have all the pictures in one place for your teams, and that you can share it with your team, that they can access, edit it. Also, you want to show this library for your clients in the way that you can permit it to download, or you don't want to download, you can only allow it to view, and if they want to load anyway for the web page, will be really reduced quality, not be full quality. Also, it's the kind of format that they can identify. Depending on what NAS or depending on what system, they will identify only JPEG, depending on what system they will identify videos, and others will define either RAW. So it's really important for you to have an idea what kind of media that you want to use. Of course, as a standard, no NAS is good for photo edition because they have only the base applications. You always need to connect a proper application as Photoshop, Lightroom and others to be able to modify or edit it. But you compromise a little bit if you use everything in the network. Why I say that compromise? If you have 1 GB network and you start to use really raw files that could have 50 megabytes, 60 megabytes, this band will start to delay and that your system will not be so responsible. So if you go to use this NAS for edition and for work, I suggest for you look at least for a 2.5 GHz as a network, or at least a 10 GB connection for you don't slow down your system. So in other words, NAS it's really good for you have everything in the same place. It's really good for you have all your pictures that you can share, you can work, you can modify, you can have common folders, you can have local information that only you can access it, not the others using the same NAS. Also, you have a full control of your data, you can generate some backups, you can upload all the pictures for everyone in the same place, you have redundancy of hard drive. If you go for a 4 bay, you can have RAID 5, you can set up automatically backup, so basically all your data, all your pictures safe as long as you configure it properly. But you need to choose what kind of NAS, what manufacturer of NAS that will be fit for your needs. Because in the past I show how you can use different applications for have all your pictures in OpenMediaVault, or I show different applications that you can generate your pictures, modify it, but they don't work as well and don't have all the features as if you go to buy a proper NAS that will have standard applications for it. So you always need to balance. If perhaps the application open source work well for you and will have all your needs, and most of the times you're gonna only edit it directly on NAS, so you can go for a true NAS, you can go for OpenMediaVault and use a Docker as application for your photos. But if you want to have more and more functionalities and you want to be able to have more machine identification and you want to have a more robust system, yes, unfortunately you have a price, but it's make it more simple for you, more safe, principally that you're working. So in this video I explain everything that you need to have in mind in order to have a NAS and what kind of features you will need to consider, and depend on what kind of application that you have and depend how much is your budget. Also, in the next videos I will explain a little bit more how you can set up this Synology photos, how you can have a share folder and how you can have a local folder, let's say only for the specific users. And also with the Google Drive I will show how you can auto backup your data. So basically if you are in a trip and you get pictures, you can potentially get all the photos for your camera, put in your computer, and that through the Synology Drive you backup all your data. So if you like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time. Bye.